So synonyms come up frequently in the test. That's why one of the reasons why we set the weekly Kahoot to practice synonyms, because with our vocabulary, we don't just need to have an idea what words mean, we also need to know similar words that mean the same and antonyms that mean the opposite. These will come up in reading comprehension as well. It might give you an example, a word from the text, and ask you what word could replace this word in the sentence. So they're really important, and the Kahoot really helps with that. Also, as does taking notes of words in sessions. I have suggested, if the children don't have a word book already, that you perhaps purchase a small notebook that you bring to class. Label each page with a letter from the alphabet, so you've got a page of A's, a page of B's, and when we do any vocabulary in class, they can then write down that word and its meaning and a synonym if we talk about one, and they've got a revision tool there that they can use and add to throughout the year. I've got a couple of children that have done this and taken that advice on board, and I think it's really helping them. So with these ones, you get a set of words in brackets, well, two sets of words in brackets, and you have to find the ones that go together. The way I do is I take a word at a time. So I take the word plan and I think, right, I look at the other words. Aspect, I might not be sure what that means, but I'm not sure if it means plan. I know plan doesn't mean value, and I know it doesn't mean error. So it's likely that it's not that. Device, I know what a device is. I'm not sure on this word aspect, but I know it doesn't mean value and I know it doesn't mean error. Blunder. Hopefully we know that a blunder is a mistake, and therefore a mistake is an error, and those would be my words that I would need to underline. Okay, moving on. We've got tempest, frigid, residence, rain, storm and procure. So some trickier vocabulary here. Now, tempest is a word that has come up frequently in texts that we do in class, and will come up throughout the year, and hopefully they will get to know the meaning of it, but I'm just going to leave that one for a moment. They might be able to infer that frigid is to do with being cold, thinking of the fridge, and they hopefully might have an idea what residence means. Over here, I think they would know rain and storm, but procure they might be uncertain of. So it's a bit tricky when we're not 100% sure, but I think that they could safely, hopefully think that residence didn't mean any of the words. Frigid, they might be tempted by the rain or the storm there because of the cold, but actually what we're looking for is tempest, thinking of the word tempestuous, stormy. So therefore, tempest and storm go together. But this highlights how tricky the vocabulary becomes and why it's such a focus of ours. And we've got malady, cantankerous and motioned. Malady and cantankerous are tricky words we might not be sure about. Over here we've got plunged. We've had that in class a few times in recent weeks. We should know that that means to sort of dive in, to jump in, which doesn't really match any of those. Irritable, we should know what that means, and a condition. Okay, so what I'm actually looking for here is I'm looking for cantankerous, which is a really tricky word, and if you are cantankerous, you are somewhat moody, you are indeed irritable. Those two words go together. Okay, the last one, we've got uncommonly, which I would hope that they would know, because we talk about prefixes and suffixes, so that they should know that the prefix un changes a word from being sort of a positive connotation to a negative connotation. So it makes it not common instead of common. They'll know often. Gesticulate, they might not know. Indicate, might have an idea. Ailment, they might. And perplexed, may know that that means to be confused. So if I was looking at this, I'd take often first, I think, and think, I don't think that any of those words mean often. So I'd think, well, I don't think I'm using that one. And it's okay to cross them out if you don't want them, if you think that you're not going to be using them. So uncommonly, not common, indicate, ailment, perplexed. Might not be 100% sure here, but maybe would say, I don't think I'm going to be going for uncommonly. That leaves me with gesticulate. It may be at this point that they have to have a guess because they're not 100% sure. Maybe they know perplexed is a little bit confused and they don't think it means that. So now they're down with a 50-50 chance. And worst case scenario, if they have to take an educated guess, there will be occasions when that has to happen because we can't all know all of the words from the dictionary and we don't know which words are going to come up. So here we would actually be looking for gesticulate and indicate as our words that go together, that are synonyms and have similar meaning. However, these words are tricky and we don't expect all the children to know them now at this point. It's a work in progress, and as the year goes on, we work through them. We come across more and more, not only in our reading comprehension, but in the verbal reasoning practices that we do together. Hopefully through their reading at home and the practice they do at home, they will come across more of them. And then there is the Kahoots as well that you can access. If you are having trouble accessing the Kahoot games at all, then please do let one of us know because they are a really, really good tool, especially for synonyms and antonyms with this tricky vocabulary.